So, are you a fan of the Alien and Predator franchises? Well, do yourself a favor and continue to forget the movie crossovers existed, along with Aliens Colonial Marines. Rebellion. Oh, Rebellion.
Suck my balls, my hairy fucking big balls. Wrap them around your fucking mouth.
Well, actually, Rebellion were the ones responsible for the original Aliens vs Predator on the Atari Jaguar, which is considered one of the best games on the system. But that was 1994 when the comics in this game were the only way we could see these two space monsters go at each other like a bunch of barbaric warriors. Years have passed when more comic books have been released and the two movie crossovers came out, which damaged our mindset of thinking that the next time the two words Alien and Predator come together will be any good. Now, look at the logo. I don't know what the point is in having the Aliens and Predator logo. Why not make your own one? I understand they want to be faithful to the source material, but that's pretty lazy. Not to mention that it's set after Alien 3, so I don't really get why they would use the logo from the second movie. I don't know, having the Alien and Predator universes combined just makes it ridiculously confusing. The plot is a remake to the 2004 Alien vs Predator. Carl Bishop Weyland and his company are out to discover the aliens and predators on the planet BG-386. After setting off a pyramid, aliens are on the loose, predators arrive to investigate and keep the technology off human hands, and marines who were sent to investigate got caught up in the whole mess and are simply trying to survive. You play as all three of them, individually. Now this story isn't exactly bad. I mean, you know what's going on and it relates back to the movies. But if you've already completed, let's say, the Marine campaign, you already know the full plot of the whole game, just in a different suit, or alien in this case. My point is, jumping from different characters could make the story a lot more surprising, like, it all comes down to this. I feel like the reason why the campaigns for these three different species are individual is just to add gameplay time. But I think the playing time could have been the same, only the story didn't have to be told 3 times. At least you do get a good chunk of gameplay time, around 13 hours. Dedication to the source material is pretty good. If you're an Alien and or Predator fan like me, you won't be disappointed. The way the rooms are lighted, the smoke, the beeping noises, the alien sounds and weapons, it's all very nostalgic. Let's go deeper into the individual campaigns.
Last wave inbound. Strap in and hold tight.
Ah, Marine, the cliche one. Now it starts off pretty solid. You wake up after being knocked out by a piece of equipment on the ship that was being attacked by predators, so you were basically a sitting duck for a while. The atmosphere, the darkness, all seem familiar to the Alien movies. You and another soldier, Tequila, work together closely to get off this planet before Bishop and the aliens stop that from happening. I don't know why, but I recently reviewed Mass Effect and for some reason, I think of myself playing as Private Shepard in this. This is how he began his army career. In Mass Effect I chose the Sole Survivor background and I decided that this was his Sole Survivor story. Only to realize it was set in the year 2209. Mass Effect was set in 2183, and he wasn't a sole survivor.
Damn it.
So that means I have to go by the name Rookie. That's a weird last name. You get a variety of weapons including a pistol with infinite ammo, shotgun, scoped rifle, flamethrower, and the M41A pulse rifle from the Aliens movie. You also get a flashlight and flares, which a ghost always finds for Rookie because he has an infinite supply. Every time you shoot close with a scoped rifle, aliens do tend to glitch like a mini trampoline. Must be a powerful weapon. As you survive, you find audio diaries scattered everywhere. I really don't see the purpose to these unless you like to hear what other people think of BG-386. Oh, an angry video game nerd. If you're wondering if Fred Fuchs had any ancestors 2 centuries later, he did. Soldiers might not be a liability like, let's say, Aliens Colonial Marines, but there's still a bunch of tools.
I'm sorry, Private. You are alone.
Bring on the fanfare. It's said so many times in the Marine campaign.
No one? Shit. I think we're on our own here.
What, do they actually expect Marines to be alone? No wonder the aliens dominate most of the time. Controls are pretty clunky. There's no zoom in button, which is in practically every first person shooter. Every time I think I'm going to zoom in, I just waste a grenade. Plus the animations feel robotic. I understand that a Marine should have a defensive move, but I highly doubt they could push a Xenomorph away with their own physical strength. Rookie must have been a champion bodybuilder before joining the Marines. The bosses are all basically the bigger aliens, the Queen, the Predator, whom I think doesn't make a big enough appearance in the Marine campaign. You only see it appear unexpectedly once, then in a boss battle. The Predator does get its own campaign, but I'm pretty disappointed. It's basically an alien story with a Predator slapped on like a bad sticker. This has the longest gameplay time of the rest, but doesn't have much to offer in terms of originality. Besides, the two aliens here are the reason why you buy this game. Like the Marine campaign, it starts off promising. You play as a special Xenomorph known as Number 6. When you get tested for your abilities as a hunter, you hear a call from the Queen, try to escape but fail, get told,
Please, don't try it again.
Then Bishop finds the pyramid, then hell breaks loose in the process, which allows Number 6 to free the rest of the aliens and take over the planet. You get to perform so many brutal kills, including the killer tongue attack. You can even do it to a dead body. I don't really see the purpose in doing it, but good lord, it's violent. Just like the movies. Be careful though, because performing a finisher kill like this can leave you vulnerable to attacks for 5 to 10 seconds. So wait, the camera view is inside the mouth? How do I see through when it's closed? The controls are not that good, especially when walking on walls and ceilings. It's hard to move the camera and calculate your jump. If the Xenomorphs in the movies had the same kind of controls when they move, I'd be really impressed. Let me tell you right now, a Xenomorph would not be able to fit through that hole. Even a human child wouldn't be able to. Spoiler alert, the final boss is a Predator. And if you've already played the Marine campaign, it's not very climactic, is it? There really isn't that much to talk about, especially when it only takes about an hour to beat. So you've completed the Marine and Alien campaigns. You're still only 2/3 of the way. You're a Predator who is out to investigate the interruption of a pyramid, stop the humans from getting their hands on your technology, and clean up the alien mess. Yes, the story of all 3 campaigns combined. The first thing you notice is the massive variety of weapons and technology you have at your disposal. The tri-laser, the disc, the combi stick, being invisible. It was mouth-watering the first time I tried these. The Pred Alien is the main antagonist of this story. Why it's there, I don't know. I do know it's in Aliens vs Predator 2 Requiem, but there's no reason for the Pred Alien to be in this game. Unless the Predator who got the facehugger in the Alien campaign probably spawned it. Or the Wayland Company researched the 2000s decade and noticed this creature and wanted to recreate it. I don't know, I'm really going deep, but considering there's no explanation for the Pred Alien being in this game, I have no choice. The gameplay. It can glitch occasionally. For example, when you do a target jump onto a balcony, you can go through the railing, and the way you move in the air is really illogical, even for a Predator. Like every campaign, the controls take some time to get used to. The hit detection is questionable when going for a melee attack, and like Number 6, when you perform a finisher, you're vulnerable to attacks for 5 to 10 seconds, which is why a lot of the time I don't use it. I recommend the combi stick, because they can kill enemies in one shot and you have an infinite supply. But you don't have it until the second last level. I think the controls could have been much better if the camera was in a third person view. Same as the Xenomorph. The Marine in first person is understandable, and I get it. You want to be inside the Predator's helmet with its thermal vision and all. I think what they should have done was add a third person option. You could say Rebellion were trying to accomplish what Mirror's Edge did with its first person platforming and melee attacks, but it just isn't done properly. It's a huge risk trying to do a first person like this because the controls have to be basically perfect for it to work. There are literally 2 whole genres in one game, and that on its own makes it a hard game to program for. Overall, I give it a pass because for all the Predator fans, you really do get that feeling of being a Predator with its weapons, technology, vision, and having more strength and power over humans, and despite my control criticism, it's tolerable enough so you can beat the game. By the time you're playing the final campaign, it really makes you wish you could jump through different characters in one campaign, like in GTA 5 when you can switch between Michael, Franklin, and Trevor.
You think you own the road, don't you? You peddling pricks.
Thought the campaign was the only thing you can do? No. There's also a survival mode where you can play as Rookie in the dark and fight through as many aliens as possible. The only light you have is the flashlight and flares. Not to mention that ammo is low. It's not bad. I really wish this game were in the hands of another developer. No disrespect to Rebellion, but development teams matter. Take Aliens Colonial Marines and Alien Isolation for example. Both have the same publisher, but have a different development team. Which game is better? It's basically a decent game dressed in a popular movie tie-in which adds atmosphere and storytelling. As a casual gamer who likes to flip through first-person shooters online and or offline, I give this a 6 out of 10. I mean, the controls were a real letdown and it didn't add anything new to the genre. Controls can either make or break a game, and they just seem to break what is otherwise a movie crossover tie-in mixed bag. But the game wasn't targeted at FPS gamers. It was targeted towards fans of the Alien and Predator franchises, and I believe it delivers for that target market. I give it a 7 out of 10 specifically for the Alien and Predator fans. I think that was Rebellion's biggest priority, making you feel like you're in the movie universe. It's a mild disappointment, but when you put into consideration the crossover movies that cause more pain than a chest burster, my mindset is, now this is a bit more like it. Not to mention this came out a year after Rogue Warrior, so at least Rebellion put their act together. It definitely set things on the right foot until Aliens Colonial Marines stepped onto the scene, but at least Alien Isolation salvaged the franchise for now.